Hey guys, Sniper, how are you? It occurred to me that I should uh, set the time for my live streams for 5:20, so that way I will show up at 5:25. I think we're probably safe to say that that would happen. Hey Kat, wait, who's that guy on the thumbnail? I seem to recall him from a long time ago. Younger, handsomer, funnier. Yeah, I seem to recall him. My cat is like, that's not you. Let's see. Hey, Soma. Someone says, on my elbow. What's going on with the elbow? How did that happen, Soma? You were singing love songs to Hector. Kat says, everything, I'm alone in the room and Yoika's not here. I have to check the date. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to be more vigilant. If it makes you feel any better, I was brushing my teeth so they would be shiny and white when I smiled at you, Kat. That's the truth, actually. I've always brushing my teeth. And I do want them to be as shiny as white as 6-year-old teeth that have been drinking coffee for 40 some years. You sprayed yourself. You fell and you sprayed yourself. That's not good, Selma. I guess it's too late for me to say don't do that. Selma's tired. Maybe you should get to sleep early tonight. Maybe we should all get to sleep early tonight. Hey, Kat, were you off today? Hey, Homemade. Homemade and Homeground is here. Says good evening to you. I am determined to talk about prayer. Selma, why did you get back with Harrison? Does that seem like the wisest move that you could make? I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying, is it the wisest move that you can make? Is it the safest move that you can make? And is it a move that you think is going to bring you any degree of happiness in the long term? Just some thoughts. So I'm going to read a poem. I'm going to read a prayer that I've read this afternoon. I just did a video about it, did a short. You've heard me. Kat says, yes, to go back Thursday, it seems. So 2 days. You get today's Tuesday. So you're off today, off tomorrow. I hope work's going smooth. So Harrison puts Hector in jail, and you go back to Harrison. You might want to consider if that is the truly the best option. So more and more, guys. First off, I've read from Illuminata, Marianne Williamson's book. I told you the story. I got it as a gift, Christmas present, in December 2009. Man, that was a long time ago. It does not seem that long ago, does it? There was a Facebook meme where when people said, when you say 30 years ago, for me, we think 1970 something, 30 years ago. But 30 years ago, 1990 something, barely. Anyway, think of a subject and we'll look for a prayer and we'll read it. But, this is the truly helpful prayer. And more, this is where I wish to lead my life. This is where I wish to be. I find myself here quite frequently, but not all the time. Runner Boy says, hopefully tomorrow, I'll only need 300 more watch hours. I hope so. I had you up today. Someone says, person called me crazy. Does not seem like the most auspicious beginning for a relationship there, Selma. Got your boyfriend arrested and called you crazy. Selma says, sorry, guys. I fell because someone pushed me in the ground. It was Jackson. Isn't he an ex-boyfriend too? Landed on my elbow. It hurts again. I'm sorry, Selma. Fornaway says, you do a lot of walking. Any tips to build it up? Since I want to improve my climb? That's a big question. I'm glad you asked that. Because you are called Runner Boy. And I know you've done races. I know you're a strong runner. You are using different muscles, or different muscles are emphasized when you're walking. And I know many strong runners in a long distance race, a 100-mile race, when they're reduced to walking, they suffer a lot. I trained one person for her first 100-mile race, and she ended up walking and was miserable, and she dropped out. She wanted to, well, I trained her for her second attempt. I trained her for her first completion because I told her to learn how to walk. So, learn how to walk briskly. Let's see if I can either find or make a video for you. Use your arms. Your walking speed is determined by your arm swing. Arms at 90-degree angle. The fist. There's a saying in distance walking, and race walking, and power walking, hips to nips. Don't let your fists go below and past the hips. Don't let them go above the nips. It's a true saying. I didn't make it up. Hey, Jeff. Jeff, you changed your name. This hi from Scotland. Hey, Shirley. Excellent, excellent, Shirley. Going to do some research on breathing in that elevation too. So I'm sorry all that happened to you. Hey, Marlon. All right, let me get to the prayer. I read it once today. I want to read it again because, again, this is my prayer of surrender. This sums up where I want to find myself 24/7 continuously. I am only here to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He will go there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. I posted that before here, before live streams in the comment section, because I want to remind myself I don't need to know what to say to you guys. For one, we're friends. I'm just talking to friends. But even if there was a room full of new people, I don't need to know what to say because I will be directed on what to say. I will be directed to the extent that I allow myself to be directed. If I come across and I say, okay, these people are here to hear me, I'm in trouble because I'm coming from the egoic perspective, meaning I have something to teach. I have something to do. I have someone to heal. I'm not any of those things. And I need to remind myself that I am to be directed. I am an instrument. Remember St. Francis's great prayer. What's that you say? Will I read St. Francis's great prayer? Why, of course I will, because you guys asked so nicely. I love this prayer. There is a form of meditation that I'm happy to teach. It's called passage meditation. And it was, it's an ancient practice, but it was reintroduced by Ignatius Warren, who was a great, great teacher. I hold him as a teacher of mine, although I never met him in person. He wrote a book on meditation, and it's actually called Meditation. Now it's called Passage Meditation. And it is years ago, late 80s, when I started really thinking that I wanted to devote myself to meditation. And then the early 90s when I started, this was the one that I started with because I couldn't find any teacher. Transcendental meditation costs a fortune. It was like $2,000 back then. Um, Maybe not quite that much, but it was well over 1,000, which I didn't have. Um, so I picked up a book called Meditation by Ignatius Warren. That's somewhere on my back shelf. And it said, so I suppose that you purchased this book because you wanted to learn how to meditate. Let's get started. And then he taught you how to meditate. And he teaches you the Blue Mountain Center of Meditation. I will teach you as well if you want. Passage meditation, hey Rosie, is you take a prayer that inspires you. It's a prayer of the heart. You have it memorized. You close your eyes, you get comfortable, you breathe naturally and normally. Spine straight, hands on the hips. And you begin with that first word. Let me bring up the prayer. You think it to yourself very slowly, very softly, allowing just the right amount of space between each word so that it sinks in like a pearl dropped in water. And truly, it is a pearl. You want an ancient prayer that has been repeated for centuries, so it has an energy behind it. That I started with, and it's recommended to start with the prayer of St. Francis, because this is spiritual technology. By planting these seeds, you become that which you meditate upon. It could be, though, Hail Mary. It could be the Lord's Prayer. It could be from the Bhagavad Gita. I also like St. Teresa's prayer, which I'll read in just a minute. But here, it's the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying to self that we are born to eternal life. Dying to self that we are born to eternal life, meaning dying to ego so that we are reborn in spirit, in the actuality of who we are. So if we become what we meditate upon, imagine meditating upon a request from God to be an instrument of his peace. I still return to this, although I'm a devoted practitioner of primordial style meditation, of which I'm a certified teacher. I still return to this method of prayer when I need to reconnect, specifically with other people, which I think might be coming up soon. I've painted myself into a yogi corner, and I don't know exactly how to step out of it. I don't know, but I don't know a lot of things. This is sort of what I wanted, and at the same time, I'm missing connection, intimacy, if that makes sense. Let's just say that I'm okay with aloneness, but I am keenly feeling loneliness. Let me dive back in. Rosie says, I don't know how I am today. MK, how about yourself? What can we do to help you figure it out and make you feel good, Rosie? Jack and pets me like a cat. I don't know what to I don't know what to say to that. Rosie says we're sort of lost for words for that fox. It's pretty cool. I love seeing fox. I thought I would be seeing more. Shirley says, Shirley, thank you so much. Take just one step, then one more, then it's excellent advice. It's heartfelt advice, and I feel it from you. That's why I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta admit, I feel a little lost. Marlon says, "Hey Shirley, how are you? Gorgeous." Rosie says, "It scared me that one time, but they're cute." They make that sound when they're getting ready to mate as well, and it really sounds like a young lady screaming. It's disconcerting because you want to run out and see if you can help in any way. And then it's like a fox looking at you, going, "What's the big deal?" Shirley says, "I think you have been found in a very special way that you deserve." Thank you, Shirley. Um, Weird how deserve can be a trigger word, can it? For so many of us. Why do you make so much progress in being of service, caring for other people, um, unconditionally loving others, and yet the word deserve applied to yourself acts as a trigger? And you think, man, do I? Is it just me? Is it anyone else? Is deserve self deserving? Is it a trigger for anyone else? And what do you think? How do we heal it? I can tell you how I think we heal it. Oh yeah, fox noises are freaky. Yeah, they are. Makes me appreciate raccoons all the more. I can't see any raccoons in my neighborhood. I know they're there. It's been like a year since I've seen a raccoon. Fox said, or cat. Fox said. Cat says, not that cat isn't a fox. Man, did that make me sound straight out of the 1970s? Let's see. I haven't heard any in a long time. Cat says, it's me for sure. Shirley says, we can see that on your birthday that you don't feel worthy. Well, you are. Emphasis on the you are. Thank you, Shirley. It's a it's a weird thing. I know because I work on forgiving myself for the things that I've messed up. There's a version of the Lord's Prayer on A Course in Miracles. Uh, Forgive us our illusions. Hey, Selma, can you give us just a few minutes, and then you and I are going to do some serious talking, young lady. How's that sound? You even got a finger wag. Rosie says, I see a lot of deer here. If I see them again, I'll post it to my YouTube page. Awesome, Rosie. A budding nature videographer, which I believe is a word. Marlon says, hey, Kat, good to see you. Kat says, I'd like to hear about my inheritance as God's creation sometimes to help me remember my worth. How's that sound for a Thursday discussion? Kat. Selma says, blah, 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 and then blah, 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 blah. I'm not quite sure if I'm getting your message. Slap is back in the room. How to walk Cosmos. Shirley says, sorry, this is where I have to leave. Everything okay, Shirley? Kat says, sounds amazing. Rosie's laughing. So, self-forgiveness. It helps. It has not, it's reduced the trigger is still present. When I think of being deserving, And Kat says it's a trigger for her as well. Of course, it's the ego that doesn't feel self-deserving because guess what? Um, it has formed a special relationship with deserving and not deserving. As Kat was saying up above, what was Kat saying up above? Let me find it. I'd like to hear about my inheritance as God's creation. Help me remember my worth. As God's creation, could your worth be anything greater than simply being you? As a creation, God's creation, how amazing is that? How, we do ourselves a disservice when we doubt ourselves, when we don't think that we deserve, when we don't think everything. What's the great lesson of the prodigal son? Did the father say, well, you didn't deserve it, but let me welcome you back anyway? Or you don't deserve it, let me give you a part-time job. So, hey, if the kingdom of heaven is within, as pointed out by Jesus, um, and if we are truly God's creation, which of course we are, whatever thought of God you hold in your heart, then that means the heart is always waking and welcoming us to return home. Always waiting to welcome us back home. Hi, Cheyenne. Cheyenne says, "Hey, Yogi, just want to thank you for today." Cheyenne, if I find myself in a position where I can do something for you, I certainly will, my friend. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I was there checking on something, um, and I saw an opportunity. I don't know if it'll be helpful for you or not, but I was happy to. Skit says, Rosie, bless you. Hey, Skits. Bless you, my friend. Now you're the greatest. I agree with Skits. You know what? Doesn't even matter what Skits is talking about. I agree with Skits. Hey, Zaruda. How are you, my friend? It's been a little while. Mommy Lane's vlog is here. Hello, my friend. Let me bring up your channel. Remind me to take my supplement. This is, if you don't mind, I'm going to read your description. Mommy Lane's vlog. Simple mom, married, that lives in a Providence, a full-time mother to a Down syndrome, Janala. Did I say that right? With congenital heart disease. Where's my friend? I am battling illness too, hypertension, PCOS, and had breast lump. Latest in my illness is a diagnosis with osteoarthritis. I do vlogging to earn for our medication. Having Down syndrome child is not easy, especially to her medical needs. I have small veggie stand and do manicure to help my husband. For a living, had 2 dogs, and they are part of our family. Appreciate with your kindness, sponsorships, donations. God bless. Um, so guys, if anyone feels called to help in any way, support, watch some videos. Let me mod you up, my friend. We are here to support. Zaruda says, how is everyone? Doing pretty good, Zarudo. How are you? Hey, Sal. Sal, how was shopping and how was dinner? Skit says, hi to Shy. Skit says, no, Ray Rosie, thank you. Thank you. I cannot wait to hear it. Hey, Chris. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rizzy. Thruda says, I'm okay, Yogi. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, CC. CC is back. Thank you again, Rizzy. Skid says, love you too, Selma. Joel says, my daughter was singing the whole time we were in the grocery store. Nice. Kids have such joy, don't they? What if we could ever pinpoint, when that childhood innocence? There was it was Bill Watson, who was the creator of Calvin and Hobbes. Everyone loves Calvin and Hobbes. Calvin and Hobbes, Far Side, my two favorite comic strips. He wrote a meme. There was one particular instance, which was the last time that you and your childhood friends played together. There was one last time that happened. Of course, we don't know what it was. When all the kids in the neighborhood or wherever it was were all there together. Bittersweet to think about. Joe says they definitely do, Yogi. So yeah, it makes you wonder. At what point did that just the joyfulness of being alive that we had when we were kids turn to teenage angst? I'm glad everyone's reaching out to each other. Hey, Village Food Season, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend, and thank you for the like. Rosie's making music. Skid says, and it makes me sad. Skid says it says something like that at the end of the film Stand By Me. Hey, All Dog. All Dog says, hit the like. Appreciate it, my friend. Wow, earthquakes there. Prayers. Village Food prayers. Are you okay? Everything safe for you? Hey, speaking of, Sabrina said he subbed to Chill Sal. If anyone here who is not subscribed to, actually to anyone, reach out. But particularly to our friend Sal, we are pushing. He's at 848, guys. Pushing to get him to 1K, end of the week. You guys ever told me, what's the end of the week for you? Is it Saturday or is it Sunday? I forgot I had a secret account, Sal. So you should be at 849, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, so did you guys pick a section or a particular thing that you want to look up a prayer? We'll look it up in Marianne Williamson's book. There's a particular subject that you're interested in, something that you're working through, something that you wish to manifest in your life, something that you would like to heal. Let's work on that. Let's offer up a prayer to the universe, to God, to consciousness itself. Team Rewatch. Thank you, Sissy. Sissy, how are you? Sissy, I had to laugh at your New Age talk yesterday. Teresa says, I'm almost at 810 subscribers. Awesome. So, guys, we can help each other out. We can get both Chosel and Zerudo, Cat and Jack. Everyone, you all should be 1K plus, 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 plus. All right. Cat says you go first. Let's see. I'm always worried when I look down to read because I'm giving you the full moon. You get the top of my head, and I'm afraid it's going to cause a panic. Everyone's going to be like, it's an eclipse. The moon is looming at me. So I got to bring the book up. Let's see what I can find. I'm doing my best not to look down. Now I'm all self-conscious. It says, Zogi living in the future, Rosie. Sal says, everyone here says great vibes. We got pretty lucky with the people that come in to hang out with us. Sal says, yes, let's teach somebody each other. But you guys are awesome. So the support that you'd be able to give each other. L-Dog says, full moon yogi. Hey, William. I'm glad you made it in, William. All right. Prayers. Just a second, guys. These are not your typical prayers. They're not your traditional prayers. Just a second, guys. I'm going to do a morning prayer because I like morning prayers. All right. Marianne Williamson's book, Elaminata. These are inspired from A Course in Miracles. Anytime there's a mention of God, if the term God does not resonate, change it to consciousness, change it to love, change it to Buddha consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Whatever works for you. Dear God, I give this day to you. May my mind stay centered on the things of spirit. May I not be tempted to stray from love. As I begin this day, I open to receive you. Please enter where you already abide. May my mind and my heart be pure and true, and may I not deviate from the things of goodness. May I see the love and innocence in all mankind behind the mask we all wear and the illusions of this worldly plane. I surrender to you my doings this day. I ask only they serve you and the healing of the world. May I bring you love and goodness with me. May I bring your love and goodness with me to give unto others wherever I go. May the person you would have me be direct my footsteps and show me where you would have me do. Make the world a safer, more beautiful place. Bless all your creatures. Hold us all and use me, dear Lord, that I might know the joy of being used by you. Amen. Rosie says, all of you are rock stars. Sissy said that. Sissy, I hope you are including yourself in that as well. Chris says, hi, William. Hope you're having a really great day. Tisa says, returns to save isn't mentioned. No idea what you're talking about. Seppa says, step where angels fear to tread. I don't exactly know where angels would fear to tread. They're angels. Plenty of places I would fear to tread. So what do you think? Anyone else has a subject? Here's my favorite morning prayer, straight from A Course in Miracles. I would make no decisions on my own today. Cece says, I understand sadly. Well, I'm glad one of us does. It is not us, it is not always of us to understand everyone where they're coming from. All we do, love, forgive, be kind, and carry on. Start the day over. Same agenda. I mentioned, by the way, my agenda every day. I will make a video, I'll make a short where there's one person in the world somewhere who needs to be told that I love you. So my little prayer is may that video, may that short little 15-second, maybe 10-second video find the right people, find the right person, even if it's only one. So what if you woke up and you only had one agenda? Today I'm going to be kind. What if you woke up and your agenda was, today I'm going to be an extension of God's love, however that unfolds. And when I forget, and I will, maybe this is the greatest prayer of all. May I remember. What if we said that? What if we actually prayed that? May I remember. Anyone here ever read Greg Braden? He writes a lot about lost technology, the lost technology of prayer, the lost technology of ancient civilizations. He actually gives guided tours on ancient sites, and he talks about the ancient hidden technology. Kat says, I hate forgetting. Hey, I do too. But isn't it a wonderful feeling when we remember? Almost like we're back playing hide and seek when we were kids. Kat says, I sound like someone I know and love. But it was sincere. As Rita said, subscribe to Danny. Danny is awesome. I don't know what I would do without Danny or the potential of Danny. If Danny isn't here, I always know there's potential of Danny coming here. That's important to me. I think about that with so many of you guys. If you're not here, I always think that you might be here. You might be on your way here. You'll be here tomorrow. It's good. Isn't it a new laptop? Brand new? Soulstar says, Danny says hi to Soulstars. Sissy, how are you? Suda says, hi, Roy, I'm just subscribed to you. Rosie says, the phone just turned off. God, everyone's having technical problems. Chris says, hi to Danny. Kat says, Danny, I love you. I'd love Danny too. Well, we're on the subject. Sissy, I love you. Oh, Skid says, no, it's the old one. Okay. Well, you have the new one, right? Skid says it was a new phone. Oh, you got a new phone. Cat Jess says, Chris, I love you. All right. I'm going to piggyback there on Cat and Jack. Chris, I love you too. Danny's waving at Cat and Jack. Hey, Mike. How was the fishing today, Mike? I was there for a while on your live stream. I had you up and running. I don't know if you saw me. It's okay if you didn't. MPP says, I have a question to ask you each, sir. What do you got for me, friend? CC says, I love you more. I don't know, CC. I don't think anyone could love you more than I love you. Hey, Sue. Kat says, Rosie, I love you so much. Rosie's so easy to love, isn't she? By the way, I love you too, Rosie. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna coast uh in the wake of Cat and Jack's Love Boat. How was that for poetic and topical if it was 1978? The Love Boat. I would look that song up and sing it right here if I wasn't afraid of getting a copyright strike. Rosie says, I love you, Cat and Jack, and of course, Jack. I'm not going to ask who she loves more. Skit says, I'm kind of gutted though, because GarageBand on there, and I won't be able to make music. Oh well, best start saving. Skits, go fund me. I know you're going to argue with me. Go fund me. I got to have Skits making music. This isn't about you. Honestly, swear. This is not about you. I personally need to know that Skits is making music. So I need a GoFundMe for Skits so we can get that laptop. Or barring that, if we could get this one fixed. But I really hope you understand what I'm saying. It's not just about helping you. I love helping friends, but this is about helping me too. I need to know that my favorite creative genius is making music, working on something. It's important to me. CC says, Love Boat. CC, you're too young to remember the Love Boat. Rosie says, we're all spreading love. We are. I love how Chris gets right to the point. She's not going to be bothered, each and every one. That takes too long. I love you all. All. Everyone's included, guys. How's that for being awesome? Chris, I love you. You guys, I mentioned Chris, I mentioned Daisy May, I mentioned Kat and Tandra, Sissy, all the time. The space that you guys create is just absolutely awesome. I'm going to include Maddie in that. I know Maddie doesn't think of himself as an emotional support channel. He is, for sure. Hey, Chris, I wonder, I don't know if I ever asked you this. Did you intentionally set out to create a place of such absolute calm and kindness? Was that your intention? Or did it just become that as you went along? Sissy says, I just posted a prayer on my post, in my post on YouTube. So on your post page, do I have permission to read it? Sissy? Kat says, Skits, I love you. Let's see. Cece says, I'm an 80s baby. I had replays in the 80s. I love that. I think it stayed on until like 85, maybe even longer. I knew you would say no. Sissy says, I remember the Love Boat. Me too. It's a good theme song. It says, no, no, I'll save and get one in a month or two. Can't wait a month or two. Skits, I can't wait a month or two. We need you tuned into the universe and making music. Danny says, waving at Dundee in the gym. Chris says, no one is excluded. Absolutely not, Chris. That's what your channel is all about. Chris says, love you, Yogi. Thank you so much. Someone says, I think in the morning stream, Cat and Jack, but I never just like hearing it. I love you too, Cat and Jack. Let's see. Sissy says, Yogi, read my prayer. Put in my post, please. All right, I got it up. I was just waiting for that go ahead. O infinite creator, source of all that is, was, and will ever be, we stand in your divine authority, commanding in alignment with your perfect will. By the power of divine law, we now open our lives to abundant security, stability, and protection. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Every curse, every evil eye, every ill wish, every case, cause, concern, conflict, and confrontation dissolves into nothingness by the radiance of your light. We command true prosperity to flow into our life, prosperity that nourishes our soul, sustains our body, and blesses all who walk with us. Wealth and resources are now aligned to our highest purpose. We command good fortune to follow us in all things. Doors of opportunity open before us effortlessly, and every step we take is guided by divine favor. We call forth true love, divinely ordained, harmonious, and eternal. Our hearts and souls are aligned to receive and give love in its purest, most sacred form. May our paths be illuminated, our spirits fortified, and our lives a testament to the boundless grace of the Creator. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. That was not only beautiful, Sissy, that was powerful. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to read it here. One second, guys. Thank you so much, Sissy. That'll be in rotation for me. Sosar says amen. Chris says amen. Sissy says thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Chris says best to all. Indeed, my friend. Mike, did you ask your question? Did I miss it? I'm sorry, I'm going up to see if I can catch. Mike, I apologize. Sincerely. If you have a comment you accidentally read that has a racial remark, that what should you do? I read it accidentally. I blocked the person and removed the comment. You've already done it, Mike. You've done everything that needs to be done. You blocked the comment and you apologize. Absolutely nothing more to do. And I know that it really bothers you, but don't trouble yourself about it anymore. I've made mistakes like that. I've read things in good faith, and that just shows the good faith that you have. It shows the good heart that you have. It shows that you trust people to do the right thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way. That's not on you. Don't hold yourself responsible or accountable for it. It's not on you. It's not on you. It's not on you. You did every single thing correct. I see that you said it really upset you, and I can understand why. But again, it's not on you. Chris says, and to experience the world through my eyes with my photography. I always wanted a place where I felt safe, loved, and cared for. And you made it. What a remarkable thing. So, do you think it happened intentionally with you, or that it was your heart's desire that just spilled over? Like for me, there wasn't a whole lot of, sorry, how to say hi to my cat. You heard her demanding it repeatedly. Um, just Yogi doing burpees in his basement was not an intentional creation until it was. It literally was just my email address, name, and me doing burpees. And I wasn't even doing videos. I was supporting people doing videos, and people in the burpee community way back 2020 said, "Hey, um, why don't you make a video of your workout?" And I did, and then I kept doing it. And after my workouts, I would sit and talk about yoga. I would sit and talk about A Course in Miracles. And people said, "Why don't you do a channel?" And then Mocha suggested, because I was running out of money that I inherited, still am, um, and I didn't want to jump back into the workforce. I was getting close to 60. Not that that's a big deal, but let's face it, guys, the workforce sucks. Work in retail management. Every job is a good job. Whatever you do is a good job. But at that time, I just lost my father. COVID was just ending. I I was in a weird place, and I don't know what I was, but it wasn't particularly good. And hey, toy pups. So Mocha suggested, why don't you do a channel, get monetized? You don't need a ton of money, just enough to pay, a few bills, groceries, utilities, your taxes. So I thought I'll give it a try. And I said, I don't know what I would call myself though, because I'm just a yogi doing burpees in my basement. And there it was, the bingo moment. I still didn't think about getting monetized for a while. It was last year, and about January, I decided I want to try getting monetized. So many people pitched in to help me. William Hart being one of them, Squirrel Sniper being one of them, Eric Lapointe being another one of them, Goldie, Bumblebee T. So I sort of announced that I wanted to be monetized in January. I got fully monetized in last year in May. So I just had my 1 year anniversary. I got my 4K in June. So I've been chugging along for a year now. All right, guys, let me catch up. I apologize. Hey, Danny Barry, how are you, my friend? Happy Tuesday to you. Soulstar says, I thought that's what the topic of the evening wrap up pertained to and wanted to contribute. I said often in my content, brightest blessings to all. Thank you. And it is. We're generally talking prayer. Chostel says, I agree, Eric. Hey, let me bring up Sal's channel real quick. Just want to give that 850. We're chiseling away, Sal. William says, yes, CC, but image is also loosely understood. Was it a process like a genetic copier or thought into existence? Cat says, sitting out here on the back porch, watching the birds, the cows, the chickens, Jack chilling by my side. All thoughts of my untamed grass almost leave my mind. Might be time to break out that riding mower. Runner Boy says, hi to William. Mike says, oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Hey, Mike, the people who show up to see you, they know your heart. You've never been anything but kind. We got you back, my friend. Runner Boy says, William, 3660 today, and hopefully down to like 2 something tomorrow. Danny says, I'm sorry, Danny. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Sniper says to Mike, I would have done exactly the same as yourself. You are helping the community with your respect and empathy for others. Thank you, Sniper. Danny's waving at Danny. Skid says, running my laptop stopped working. So that's why I ain't got on the background, bro. Chris says, my heart's desire. It's always been my heart's desire. Yet I never thought the path and journey was going to be what has transpired. Such a gift. I'm glad you see it as a gift because it is definitely a gift that you are receiving. People love you so much, Chris, and it is a gift that you're giving because you give out such love. You've created a truly unique, safe, calm, and really, really fun place to hang out. One of my favorite places to be. Marla says, just requested deer from a hunter. Going to be already broken down in the primaries for 6.50. Hopefully getting a response soon. Haven't had meat in a while, which is fine. Well, I hope you get what you need, Marlon. Sissy says, internet farewell in several industries. I am not cut out for matrix jobs. What would you like to be doing? Do you want to be doing what you do full time on YouTube? And let's hope you get there. Whatever it is. I'm with you on that. I work retail, middle management, constantly under the threat of promotion. I mention this story often. I went to a party at the district manager's house. He lived along the shore of the Chesapeake Bay, actually one of the rivers that are tributary of the bay, which is basically on the bay. And he showed me his boat and his sports car and his big house. And he says, we have designs to make you manager, to make you district manager, to make you regional manager, to work your way up. You could have this too. And I immediately went into full panic mode. I don't want that. I don't want a boat. I wouldn't mind a canoe. Something small, manageable. I wouldn't mind an open deck kayak. I wouldn't even mind a rubber raft. I do not want a boat. I don't want high maintenance. I want something I can deflate and put in my closet when I'm done with it. And I definitely don't want a sports car, although Mustangs are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind a Subaru Outback. I don't like driving that much. And yes, if I had a Subaru Outback, I would probably put a coexist bumper sticker on my back. I wouldn't mind if people called me a soccer mom. I can take it. I'd like Subaru Outbacks. I'm not afraid to admit it. But yeah, those kind of jobs just didn't fit right. Then I had my own business and I did pretty well. I would train people. I'd go to their houses with my kettlebells. We do kettlebells and body weight stuff. But I had to shut my business down. COVID, taking care of my father. And when he was done, I don't know. Something felt broken. Between COVID and my father, something felt broken. Like, man, every goal is worthwhile. I know you want to bench press 300 pounds. I know you want a 16-inch arm. I know you want abs or to get in shape for a race or whatever. And I support all that, but it just didn't feel like it was my position to help people get something. I wanted something deeper. Caring for my father brought me so much, weird to say, happiness. My father was dying, but I was able to keep him from the hospital. I was able to keep him from getting COVID. I was able to keep him safe to give him dignity, respect, uh, to laugh with him, to let him know that he was not a burden in the least and that he was my father, which was important. I was his son. That respect, just because I was doing things that my father could no longer do, did not take away the fact that he was my father. And I made that clear every day, every moment. It was my priority. One of my priorities. So, when my father died and then COVID lifted, it just was at a loss that still lingers today in a bit. But I'm finding so much purpose in a single conversation with you. How amazing is that? The directive that I was given when I asked, what should I do with my life? I asked that question twice. What does a caregiver do when they no longer have a single person to care for? They keep caring, but now they have everyone to care for. My channel, I'm a caregiving channel. That's it. One voice says, Yogi, I believe the hike is 100K. I'll obviously be doing up a mountain. The fact that you squat is going to help a lot. You might want to consider doing some higher rep squats. Do you got a treadmill? You got any hills? As road is going to head out, guys. The second time I asked that question, what should I do with my life, was weeks after I quit drinking. Or I should say, after drinking left my life. And I was settling into a life of contemplation and yoga. And I meditated one morning and I got up and I looked in the mirror and I asked, what should I do with my life? And again, I got a very clear response. Be a hero. What a weird thing to think. How kind of hero am I supposed to be? Put on a cape? I'm not opposed to wearing a cape, but I need a reason. The days of just walking down the street wearing a cape, those days are over, sadly. I'm actually referring to David Crosby, Crosby, Stills and Nash, who had a cape, but it was the 1960s. You could get away with wearing a cape in the 1960s in Los Angeles. Columbia, Maryland, 2025, nope, can't do it. Sissy's laughing. Did I hear you say balk for the climb? You did not hear me say balk for the climb. As a matter of fact, you might want to shed a few pounds. Specificity. Train for the specific job at hand. You just want to bulk. Hey, running boy, eat Pringles. Take an extra can of Pringles with you. Rosie says he's very proud of you because you are one smart man and an awesome person, Yogi. I love you, Yogi. I love you too, Rosie, and thank you so much for saying that. Sissy says bars, poet, and don't know it. Sissy says my dream is to own a B&B that saves horses. That's so awesome. From slaughter, and also offers horse therapy for people in recovery or or other mental health issues. How can we get there? What can we do to get there? William says, if I was close to Eric, I would be your tech supporter and free YouTuber. Oh, free Uber. Well, thank you for that, William. Yep, you did almost make it. But, William, we got a plan. By the way, I got day one. You got a video. Day one of A Course in Miracles, of the workbook. We have a plan, William. Venice, I bet you could, William. Because you would know that it was hunted out of kindness to provide food. It wasn't something that was literally stored in a slaughterhouse. There's a big difference between um, factory farming and hunting, or small farms, animal husbandry. I think we would all be better served to return to um, small farms where animals were cared for because they were going to be cared. It was offering to be cared to us. We were in a sympathetic relationship with nature. I think our friend Lee would agree with that. William says, "Take care, Cerrito. Thank you again for showing up and supporting everyone." Absolutely. Friend of boy just wants to bulk up. I kind of feel like my live streams have been shadow banned somehow since they get so little views. Hey, Runner Boy, what about doing a different live stream? How about like just a talking live stream, explaining your workout philosophies, what you're doing? How about a Runner Boy question and answer? I mentioned before, you're the most precise trainer on YouTube. You always know why you're in the gym, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Man, you could help so many people out. How about you had a um, man question and answer, insights from Runner Boy? Let's break outside of the box. Here I'm thinking like Toy Pups. She's rubbed off on me big time, giving me so much inspiration. William says, Soulstar, that is incredible. I don't know the first thing about horses, just that I would probably ride one, not break one in. Sissy says, you can still pull one off in LA. Next time I'm in LA, I wonder if I can buy one there. Is there a Cape store? Is there a Cape Hut? Capes R Us? A Gap created just for capes? The Cape Shack. Where do you buy cakes? Where do you buy capes at? All right, that does it, guys. Next year for Christmas, I want bongos and a cape. Don't know why I want bongos, but for some reason I think that if I had a cape, I better be playing the bongos. I think I might be able to get away with it. I think that if people saw me walking down the street in a cape, they'd be very suspicious for good reason. And then if they saw me pull out the bongos, they'd be like, oh, okay, he's a bongo player. Makes perfect sense. So Sissy says, I was stoned from a quarter horse when I was 8 years old. I snuck and rode bareback. The throw knocked me out. Well, I'm glad it wasn't anything serious. Simpa says that it needed to be broken um, in because it had a serious issue with saddles. Ironic, let me ride it and no one else because I had no saddle. I think you probably have a way with animals too. You're closely attuned with nature. Who says it's just animals in general? I find issues with eating. Me too. Um, it is like I think Matthew says, if to turn them in impure and their minds are ready, he wouldn't waste his time probably remembering the wrong thing. Runner Boy says, maybe I could try that, Yogi. Yep. Hey, Runner Boy, let's think outside of the box. Runner Boy says, I think I need a few injections. Yeah, you probably do. You definitely wanted, some of it takes a little bit of time, so you want to look into that now. Rosie says, MK hates me. He's not answering me. How could anyone hate Rosie? In case you are wondering, hey, Abigail. Rosie, in case you're wondering, you are absolutely awesome. So we're going to talk, I think, for about 10 more minutes, guys. Thanks for, Sissy, thank you for that prayer. And guys, thank you for putting up with me reading some prayers. Sissy says, just for giggles, but I didn't say anything for superheroes. We bring that up. Lovers and Friends. There you go. Lovers and Friends, Devon Motto Cape. Ooh, it's got a zipper. I don't know why that zipper just excited me, but it did. $260 for a cape. I could buy a poncho for $260. And you guys know how much I like ponchos, specifically real Mexican ponchos and not Sears Mexican ponchos. And again, I am referencing Frank Zappa. As well, I should. Saw Frank Zappa in concert, 1980 something. Pretty awesome show. He did a version of Whipping Post, Allman Brothers, which I would swear should never be covered by anyone. And yet, man, they did it, and it was pretty awesome. But I don't know exactly if it needed to be done. Whipping Post is on live at the Fillmore East, one of the top two greatest live albums of all time. The other, The Who live at Leeds. Some people might say Peter Frampton Comes Alive. I say no. Overrated. What do you say, Sissy? Sulcer says, I would go with a poncho. You know, a poncho could also serve as a cape, right? And if I ever walked in the street feeling self-conscious, people pointing and laughing, saying, look at that guy with the cape. I go, no, 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 it's not a cape, it's a poncho. And everyone go, oh, that's okay. I don't know why in my imagination people think a poncho is better than a cape. But hey, it's my imagination. I get to do all kinds of things in here. Chris says, have a great evening, everyone. Chris, you too, my friend. Thank you so much. Deb says Zappa rocked. He did rock, didn't he? And he gave sage advice. Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you drink that yellow snow. Montana. Sulso says, I totally crushed on Peter Frampton. He's a good guitar player. Sissy says, you're most welcome and thank you for sharing. I actually have a rain poncho. I actually thought about designing. Mac Davis, he had his own, everyone had a variety show in the 1970s. Everyone had a variety show. Mac Davis had a variety show. Had it lasted a little bit longer, had the 1970s lasted a little bit longer instead of a decade, if it had been a decade and a half, I eventually would have had my own variety show. Rosie has her heart broken. That's unacceptable. You do own live. I think it's bedtime for me anyway. My restream will be up for the night if anyone wants to help out. I'll have you playing tomorrow as well, Runner Boy. Duncan Walsh is here. Evening twice in a day. What's up, Duncan? What channel is this? I don't think you've ever come in as just Duncan Walsh. Sissy says I had 8-track to prove it. I did have the double album. I was just never a huge Peter Frampton fan. No, 8-track, Nazareth Hair of the Dog. I had a ton of 8-tracks. Inherited them from my siblings, who had already moved on to cassettes. My only thing with cassettes, I used them for two things. To tape albums, so I wouldn't have to keep playing the album, so I could keep my albums safe. And also, people of a certain age will remember doing this, waiting for that right song to come on the radio that you wanted to hear, so you could catch it and get it on tape, so you could play it whenever you wanted. And then almost inevitably, the DJ would start to sing or end the song early and say something, ruining the whole experience. Dundee said, Yogi as a designer. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I was going to design. Where did they go off track? Why do you guys let me go off track? You got to keep steering me back, guys. Keep steering me back. Thank you for that, Dundee. Marlon. I wanted to do an ultra running poncho designed specifically for ultra runners. It would have inner pockets, not just on the outside. It would have outside pockets. It would have pockets on the inside, and you could extend it as a bivouac, which means you could sleep in it if needed, if you absolutely had to. Would have been awesome. It also would have had a liner for warmth. CC says Yogi suit equals furry party joking. Yogi suit. Is there a yogi suit? Let's see. Park is here. Yeah, that's okay, Duncan. The important thing is you being here. Yes, I do remember splicing 8-tracks. I don't think I ever spliced a cassette, but you remember putting the pencil in the little turning thing? Do you guys remember putting the quarter on the arm of stereos if there was an album that skipped? Deb said they would get so tangled. Sissy says that's how I submitted my first song. It was recorded over a Beverly Hills 2 soundtrack. The song is titled Sorry. I wrote it to my mom when I was 12. You may know it. I think I had a version of it. Rosie's about to go bike riding. Awesome, Rosie. Enjoy, my friend. Deb says, Soul, how cool. Billion Dollar Syndrome is back. Hey, Duncan, I'm looking forward to hearing your interview tomorrow. We're actually getting ready to wind down, or we actually are winding down. Hey, Chloe. Chloe Smith says, hi. Hello, my friend. It is nice to see you. Chloe, I thought I had subscribed to you, but I am now. I am your 10th subscriber, my friend. Membership's going pretty well, Duncan. I need to put out a bit more members content. I've been a little less inclined because the stuff that I've been putting out, I just want to share with as many people as possible. Rosie says, usually when I Bike ride. I see the deers. I'm going to try and find some to show you. Show me. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Hey, maybe you'll see a fox. It was eventually released by Buckcherry. Sniper says he sliced Super 8 back in the 90s. Back in 90. Buckcherry. It's a good name. We're talking music, Duncan. If you want the principal of a members area to work, you have to provide some exclusive content. You're right. You're right. I did do something today. I was doing members only live streams. I do enjoy doing them. Need to start back up again. Sniper says, Parker, learn some new words for tomorrow, please. Danny's going to take a break. We're going to wind down. We're going to end things. I'm going to go to bed, Danny. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate you guys. Thank you. It's a fun live stream. I appreciate being able to read all the prayers. Sissy, thank you so much for allowing me to read your prayer. It was fun talking music. It was the whole thing, the whole evening. It was fun. Duncan says, I would say there has to be something exclusive, perhaps some extra breathwork sessions. I thought about doing an actual breathwork session, meaning not just one breath, but doing like an actual session that you might have. When I was doing my yoga certification, my first one, we would do breath of fire followed by alternate nostril breathing, which is done in a lot of particular yoga styles. So you're right. You're absolutely right, Duncan. Skid says, good night, everyone. I'm going to go eat some food, then meditate. Much love to all. Awesome, Skits. Love you, my friend. Rosie says goodbye. Sissy says, absolutely 100%. Most welcome. Hot yoga. It's been a while. I did Bikram yoga every single day, sometimes twice a day, for about a year without missing a day. Unsurprisingly. Duncan's probably like, yep, not surprising at all. I don't like missing days. I'm okay if I miss a day, but I don't like missing days. Very enjoyable. I like doing hot yoga. I haven't done for a long time. Rosie says, love you all. Bye. Good night, Yogi. Good night, Rosie. Hope to see you tomorrow. Duncan says, how is your partner at the moment? We don't hear from her much. Duncan, I'm afraid that I do not hear from her much either. Very selectively. Not a falling out, just a gentle parting of our ways. So don't know what more I can say about that. Not that, not that I mind talking about it. That you guys ever heard Tom Rush? The song No Regrets. It's a beautiful song. It's a heartbreaking song. It's how I feel. Sissy says, I haven't either and wouldn't know where to start without an instructor. Well, it's hard to get a place on your own that you can get that hot. I believe Bikram Yoga was 103. Agape, Omni, love, and namaste to you as well. You're right about that, Duncan. Duncan says things are never straightforward. Oh, Jace, you made it. Or I'm sorry, Duncan, you made it to Jace's. Awesome. Shirley says, Duncan, I did not want to sub to any more channels, but I had to sub to you today. Jace's live. Nice to meet you. Duncan is awesome, Shirley. Duncan's an old friend. He's been a huge supporter for me for a long time. I have a members only channel because of him and Eric Lapointe. They're the ones who convinced me to do so. Duncan's been telling me to take a day off from training for about 3 years now, which I haven't done yet. But I do take Duncan's advice very, very much to heart. Awesome guy and an awesome friend. Always thankful for Duncan. I am always thankful for Shirley. Sanford says stubborn as a mule. I always think, you know what? The list of things that I'm not good at is long and varied, but I can show up. Duncan says, I understand your reasons. Yep, we've talked about that. Sniper says, one day perhaps. One day. I mean, I didn't even taper when I was supposed to for a big race, and I would run the next day, even after a 100-mile race. People would try to convince me when I would do 24-hour races, you don't need to run because it's the next day already. You've already ran that day, so you don't need to wake up and go running. But I'm actually an Aries, Cece. It says just the one. The one thing I can do, I can show up. And so I do. Show up every day, 3 times a day. I try to show up for you guys. All right. I got to go, though. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I'm going to get some sleep a little bit more. I hope. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully, we'll do it again tomorrow. Thank you, Duncan. Eric Point says another great live. I just mentioned you, Eric Point, a little bit ago. You and Duncan are the ones that inspired and convinced me to go ahead and do that members only channel. CC says, greatest of all times, goat. Makes you a goat man. I do have goat man Pan tattooed on my arm. Hard to see. He's there. Trust me. Duncan says, hey to Eric Lapointe. Eric says, yes. You've been a big inspiration for me, Eric. Even more so. All right. With that, love you guys. By the way, June 8th is burpee anniversary day for Eric Lapointe. Shirley says, dang LP, you follow me around? It wouldn't surprise me. All right. Hey, Shirley. Thank you so much for your wisdom, your kindness earlier in the live stream. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got for everyone, Eric Lapointe. You're putting so much out there. It's not that you need to top yourself. Shirley says, I love you. I love you too, Shirley. Eric Point says, I love you too, Yogi and chat. All right. Thank you. All I needed to hear. Take care, guys. One second. I want to read William. Good night and much love to all. Rest easy tonight. And if you have dreams, may they help you on your journey to peace and forgiveness. Thank you so much, William. This is a beautiful prayer. Heartfelt. Eric Point says, oh boy, I have nothing. I'm just doing 500 psychos, or maybe not. 500 psychos is a lot. Hey, you know what though? I don't want to talk you down, but a year means you could do 365 of something. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be significant. Does that make sense, Eric? Well, William's going to do a burpee video. It's a good idea. So hey, you don't have to do anything, Eric. You can ask your friends, guys, do a burpee video, even if it's just one. Even if you don't do burpees, do just one. Where it says 365 psychos. I love it. Eric says, true. You and William think alike. William says, have you seen the Superman? Yep, I've seen Eric do the Superman on video. Shirley says, grill 365. As long as one of them is a vegan burger, I'm in. And we'll all show up. Hey, Eric LaPointe could take us out for pizza on Burpee Day. Because Connecticut has the world's best pizza. Don't believe me? Ask Eric LaPointe. He'll let you know. All right. With that, I was in the process of saying goodbye. I had already said goodbye. I was free. I was out the door. And you guys just kept dragging me back in. It's an Al Pacino line. I don't remember what movie it was. Sissy says, portobello mushrooms make a great burger and pizza. This is true. Can't go wrong with mushrooms, guys. William says, for real, though. Good night, all. Eric Point says, good night, everyone. Good night. Love you again, guys.